All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And I don't know how many times I have to tell people this, but James Gunn has really stepped in it. And he just can't do anything to save himself at this stage. And I am not going to cover this particular story in my videos other than what I'm about to tell you. But people wonder why I have a grudge against this guy. It's because of who he is and what he continues to be in the entertainment industry. He has done nothing that shows that he is the guy who should be taking over DC properties. And it just came out that this last week, over the last couple of days, that he has taken credit for work. And this isn't coming from unreliable sources. This is coming from the Writers Guild of America and also some people who have worked on projects with him, okay? That he has taken the credit for work, for writing, that he didn't do, or that he had a small part in, where these other people were the masterminds behind it. This is who this man is. He's going to take credit for other people's work. He's a narcissist to no end. He keeps he's going to use his wife. He's going to keep the characters that he created and move forward with what he wants to do, not what the fans want, and not what what is not best for the actual characters or the studio. It's his playground. And I didn't have a problem with it when he was hired on just as a CEO. But then I found out he's going to be writing and directing and doing all this stuff. That's not what he was hired on to do. I'd give him a chance if he was going to sit behind the scenes, but he's not. He's very much involved in all of this. And this is who this man is. So for those people who still support him, I just don't understand it. I do not get it. The guy is not somebody I would want on my company. I could tell you that. I would stay far away from him. He likes to take other people's credit, and it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. At any rate, let's look at the photos that I have grabbed over the last couple of days. Now, there isn't much to be had as far as DC news goes. I do have a couple of photos I will be showing here in regards to DC, but the first thing I wanted to show you guys, and this comes from Christopher Nolan, who, if everybody doesn't know, he was the one who did the Dark Knight trilogy. He was the director and the writer of those films. He is pretty freaking awesome. And he came out and was praising Taylor Swift on the fact that she is releasing her concert film and it's not being distributed by a studio, which means she is going to profit all of the money. And the amount of people that are going to see this is crazy. And he said this is a way of seeing things that's incredibly valuable. That you can skirt the system, go around the studios, and possibly do things that are going to resonate with people without studio interference, which is cool. He basically had that with the Dark Knight trilogy, except for that last film. He was able to make the first two without really any studio involvement at all. And I really wish that Warner Brothers would give that kind of leeway to their directors and their writers, but that's not how they function. Now, here's something that I find funny, and this, again, it's not strictly DC related, but we did have George Clooney, who did play Batman. He was recently in The Flash. He made an offer, along with some other A-listers, to SAG-AFTRA to basically end the strike. And what's funny about this is specifically him, he is not full SAG-AFTRA. In fact, he is something known as FICOR, financial core in the industry. Means he's kind of denounced his union membership so he can work jobs both union and non-union. He does this because he makes a crap ton of money doing liquor commercials in other countries. And what these A-listers basically did, there were 5 or 6 of them, they came to SAG-AFTRA or to the studios and said, look, we'll donate, we'll put in $150 million, and we just want you guys to expand basically the union to allow more money to come in. They have a cap on how much they could take as far as dues go. He goes, let's basically unlock that cap so you guys can make an extra $50 million a year to be able to pay the people that need to be paid, and also get those lower level workers paid first. And that isn't even the issue. And this is what they don't understand. They were basically laughed at. This mainly has to do with AI and not getting fairly compensated for certain things that you do, because the biggest thing in these contracts is it states in these new contracts by the studios that the next time these actors do a project, those studios own the likeness and the voice of that individual. That's a big problem. They're not breaking on this stuff, and that's the issue. It's not the stuff that they went to the strike, to the studios with, and they basically got laughed out of the room, and they should. They don't understand the issue. Now, here's a bit of news that comes from Ben Affleck, and this was something that was stated in this big article that he did, and I can't remember if it was Variety or if it was Rolling Stone. It was a big article. It's where he talked about how he was, getting ready to commit suicide over the reshoots of Justice League and how awful that situation was. And we all now know that he was going to be back full-time as Batman. I mean, he came back for The Flash. He was going to be in Aquaman. He was coming back for multiple projects. He wanted to continue to be Batman. And this is basically in response to what it says, Ben Affleck's response to Zack Snyder fans being so intense online. Say what you want. It was my highest rated career movie, Affleck stated. I've never had one that went from nadir to pinnacle. Retroactively, it's a hit. All of a sudden, I was getting congratulated for the bomb I'm in. This has to do with, Batman versus Superman, but mainly Zack Snyder's Justice League. He said the genius and the silver lining is that Zack Snyder eventually went to AT&T and was like, look, I can get you 4 hours of content, and it's principally just all the slow motion that he shot in black and white. And one day of shooting with me and him, he was like, do you want to come in and shoot in my backyard? I was like, I think there are unions, Zach. I think we have to make a deal. But I went and did it. And now Zack Snyder's Justice League is my highest rated movie on IMDb. Tells you a lot. Warner Brothers got rid of gold. And I'm not talking about just Zack Snyder. I'm talking about the whole, what people call the Snyderverse, which is not the correct name for it because Zack Snyder was only involved in 3 of these films. It was all the other stuff, Wonder Woman, the first Aquaman. These were all really good movies. So I bring this up again. I brought this up in the past. I don't like this because, James Wan is telling everybody that this is an outright buddy comedy. That's ridiculous. Nobody wanted a buddy comedy. They wanted a follow-up to the first movie that was possibly a little darker than the first movie. This had the potential. The storyline has a potential being some very heavy, phenomenal stuff, but instead they go goofy with it, which is unfortunate. And his movie's not even getting released. It's been butchered so many times. So there are some rumors out there that Eiza Gonzalez is being eyed to play Wonder Woman. Now, I don't know how accurate this is. We're not going to have any casting announcements, official casting announcements, until this strike ends. And again, the strike is scheduled to go into February, possibly February, maybe even longer into next year. We'll see what happens, and we'll see if the studios cave or not. All right, and the last photo I have here is James Wan talking about the possibility of directing an Aquaman 3. He said, I'd be open to doing another Aquaman if I got the same freedom I've had with these first 2, which he didn't have the freedom on the second one. I am not sure what direction Gunn and Safran are going in, though, so who knows? I've learned to never say never. He's exhausted from doing these to begin with, and he's made comments. He's kind of backtracking some comments he's made in the past about how he doesn't even know what version of his film. The studio's butchered it so many times and made so many reshoots and done so many things that he doesn't even know what is getting released. And he's exhausted from the whole process. And there were talks of him possibly wanting to sue the studio. So, things are not all peachy keen down there at Warner Brothers, and they haven't been for a very long time, and that's going to continue. All right, so that's what I have for you in regards to DC today. I do appreciate all the support. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up. We will see you on the next video.